meeting to order. Mr. Hodges, would you lead us in prayer? Sure. All right, if you'll join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Yep, I'm on. All right. As I say in every meeting, the rules of decorum are in effect. Do we have any citizens' comments sheets for tonight? Okay. If we don't have any citizens' comment sheets for tonight, then citizens' comments will be closed for the evening. All right. First thing up, approval of minutes. Discussion and action regarding the approval of the November 12th City Council meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve those minutes?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the November 12th City Council meeting minutes as written.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Is there any discussion on that? If there's no discussion, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Show that unanimous. All right. We'll move up to the first item, 6.1, discussion and action regarding a request from Community Waste Disposal, or known as CWD to a lot of us, for an annual rate adjustment effective January 1 of 2020 to reflect a change in the consumer price index as detailed in the contract. Do I have a motion?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to accept the community waste disposal annual rate adjustment, which would be effective January 1st, 2020, to reflect the change in the consumer price index as detailed in the contract.
All right. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. I've got a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion on that? Go ahead.
I have some questions.
Sure.
So, I guess Lisa or, Jason, one question I had is, what is the status of our commercial trash disposal right now? I know there was a period there where Republic was having to come out here and take care of a few accounts that they were not charging for, if I'm not mistaken. And I didn't know what.
I'm not sure. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Jason?
Yes, that is correct. To my knowledge, we have all of the,
Okay.
we call it residential, but they're commercial dumpsters within the city limits, as
Right.
Lisa said, aside from the gas station. That's due to the size of the container and the frequency of pickup for them.
Okay. So it's all taken care of. There's no dispute or anything like that, right? But-
No, Republic was willing to take care of that one dumpster, and as Jason mentioned, it actually gets picked up, I think, twice a week.
Okay.
And it is as well oversized anything else in the city.
Okay.
We'll help them to
Got you. All right.
All right. Any other questions for Jason? Because I know he's going to be up here in just a minute.
Mike, is he going to be addressing?
He's going to be addressing the contract and all that we had talked about with him earlier.
If you have any questions about CPI index and
Yeah, now would be the time to ask. Okay, Jason, we'll get back with you in just a minute.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that. All right, I've got a motion, I've got a second. Do we have any other discussion on this? All right, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Show that unanimous? All right, now moving on to 6.2. Discussion and update regarding review of the current contract with community waste disposal for solid waste removal and recycling services as related to service and billing issues. I'll entertain a motion.
Well, is there a motion, or should we just talk about what we did at the meeting?
Yeah, this,
There's no real action,
Yeah, there's
right?
no,
Okay,
previous item.
right.
We had met with CWD. We addressed some of the issues, billing issues. We had our questions answered. Jason is here.
Yeah. Do we have any questions for Jason? Like she was saying, that we met with him and another one of his employees, another representative, and they answered a lot of concerns. Because I brought some things up, and they were able to address those and give us adequate answers on those.
and who's going to stay on top of that? Lisa, or, I mean, just to make sure that everything that was asked of them, and they stated that they are going to,
Right.
okay.
The other side of that is, in talking with Jason and us going back and looking at the contract, correct me if I'm wrong, but you provide a monthly report on, what was it, complaints, issues, things like that. There's a report that you provide Lisa. Yes. So we will be able
That
to
is correct.
see the amount of, for lack of a better word, issues or situations that may arise between our citizens and CWD.
But that just pertains to the pickup, and
Right.
perhaps that doesn't include billing,
Right.
potential billing issues. So citizens should still contact your department.
Yeah, no, I'm
Absolutely.
just saying he gives us a
Yeah.
report
Right.
on what they've dealt with, not,
Right.
Yeah, that report really gives you a sense of the pulse of the community and how they feel about services. And one thing that's not
right. And when we went back with Jason in the meeting, he was able to provide us and show that there has been a drop in for lack of a word, any other word, service-related problems that, or complaints, that they have been addressing them and they have been dropping off. The one thing that we did see, or we did discover during that time frame of talking to him about the issues was, like Lisa was saying, we'd have people call Lisa, but not call them, or there would be wires crossed on it and it would get dropped off and never land.
I will say the reason, I mean, this was early on in the beginning, but, I mean, even when I called your company, we were misdirected, and I was told that they would handle it, and it was never handled, what situation I had. And it just now, literally just now became solved, I'm assuming is the word that I'm looking for. But it's taken 11 months for my situation. And so I can, I can just see that if people keep calling your business, and I keep, it's not our responsibility to call you guys. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm just hoping that this is going to be, that part of it, the billing part of it, is going to get fixed, I'm hoping.
Yes, we're all aware of the startup issues.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Estimate
Right.
the franchise fees that the city was not receiving possibly.
Right.
A lot of that was due diligence and work between. We made a lot of changes in that department.
And have you guys looked at your website? Because your website was a little bit difficult when it came to my problem. Very difficult to try to even get an account with you guys. I couldn't even get an account with you unless I talked to somebody, and then when I did talk to somebody. So I'm just hoping that you look at your website also, is what I was trying to get at.
We certainly take all of that. into
Okay.
consideration. So it's, whenever you have feedback, you all have my card now.
Yep.
The point is, I can't know about it if I don't know.
Right.
So I want something to boil to the point where it's
Yeah.
irreparable or something like that. You can reach out to me before I address it. I can meet with you guys during business hours.
Mayor, just so
Yes.
I'm clear, so now we'll be getting a monthly report from
Well,
Jason.
Lisa will get it.
Okay, but it'll be part of our monthly discussion?
We hadn't really discussed whether or not it would be provided to you, but Lisa will be getting something monthly.
If you'd like to, one in your packet, I redacted the names and addresses.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
If you want me to put them in here, I don't mind redacting.
I mean, if the council's open to it for the next 60 to 90 days, I think it would be good at
That's
least
fine.
for us to,
And then we can get
It's
to a
in
point
front of
like
us and-
less than 10 or 20
Yeah.
or
Right.
whatever the number is. Just say if it's less than that, then no reason for it.
Okay.
So-
I do have one question. The per service or per 1,000 service ops for complaints, can you give some context to that? Like, what's your corporate goal there? What's standard for, say, area cities, and even the industry average or whatever? Just some. Okay.
So the industry average on that is one service inquiry. An inquiry is any complaint about service. So if somebody's not calling in an issue or making a swear, it's not going to get on that report. It's going to address it. The industry average is one per 1,000 service opportunities. So each month, there's roughly 8,000 service opportunities in the city. Each service opportunity is trash or full. So they're done at the same time. at the same time. Over the last 3 months, August through October, service inquiries per 1,000, with a little bit of adjustment based on the complaints you see in your log.
For those 3 months.
Those 3 months, like I said, November was 3, so our goal, and the answer is it's not our goal to just
Right.
be under the 1.
Right.
by
Yeah.
any means.
Right.
Usually our goal is to be at around 0.4. That varies from city to city, so I can't so holistically say.
All right, any other questions for Jason? Thank you, Jason. All right. I think the only action or direction would be just that report that they'd like to see for the next, 90 days? Be
Yes, sir.
adequate? Okay, so January, February, March. All right,
and if Jason would be willing, maybe come back at that 90 day and just kind of do
Yeah,
a quick
well-
follow-up visit with us again, would that be feasible?
actually, it'd be in April if we're going
Yeah.
to give 3 months.
Or, yeah, sorry.
I can work with Lisa, like,
Yeah.
be
Okay.
available to try to limit it, just because there are some municipalities.
Sure.
Sure.
Let us look at the numbers, and then
Yeah.
we'll get with Lisa and decide if we need to visit with you.
My point is I can always come meet you.
Mhm.
You're here at 15 complaints. Shoot me an email, give me a call. I will find out the issue.
All right.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, moving on to 6.3, discussion and action regarding creating an ad hoc monument committee to focus on maintenance of the Veterans Memorial Monument, future brick orders, and the planning of any future monuments within McLendon-Chisholm. I'll turn this over to Councilmember Kipphut,
Great, thank
between you and Lisa.
All right. As you all know, we installed the bricks. Also, we had the lighting installed by one of our citizens, Mr. Reynolds from Reynolds Electric, donated the installation of 4 lights onto the monument. What I wanted to talk about today was transitioning the Veterans Committee to ad hoc monument committee to look at the overall city and any future monuments. And a monument can also be a welcome to McLendon-Chisholm sign, which we'll be dealing with as the 205 expansion comes on. So what I would like to do is establish a ad hoc committee, like I said, to look at the landscaping surrounding the new Veterans Memorial or the Veterans Memorial and any future monuments. Along that line, I want to bring to council one thing that I'm working on, and I don't know if you've all heard about the big event that's going to be happening throughout Rockwall County, but the chamber, the Rockwall Chamber Leadership Group has a project going on starting on the 18th of April 2020, where they do projects throughout the county. And one of the projects that they're proposing is the landscaping of our monument. The details aren't fully worked out, but they would probably be the labor. We would have to get the materials. But that they want to do a project in McLendon-Chisholm, and we were thinking that would be a great start. Our point of contact there is Mr. Ben Northcutt, and he's going to be coming and talk to us the beginning of next year about it. So anyway, I thought it would be good to have a committee in place to work this kind of thing, just to ensure that we keep it going. So I'd like to go ahead and advertise it on the website to see if there's folks, perhaps even some of the folks that were involved in the Keep MC Beautiful or that previous committee that was started earlier. See if we could just do a continuation of that kind of thing. So I'd just like to get council concurrence that we're headed in the right direction.
Lisa, do we need a motion on that one? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to create an ad hoc committee, monument committee.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we create an ad hoc monument committee that would focus on the maintenance of the Veterans Memorial Monument, the future brick orders, and the planning of any future monuments in McLendon-Chisholm.
All right. I've got the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll
Either one.
second it.
All right. I've got a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussions?
Just for clarification,
What would you prefer?
ask if there's an application.
Yes, I thought I would,
We kind of
yeah.
fill in the blank. If you want. It's not just a regular committee with filling blanks. We can have people do that. If they're
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then I'll get with you separately to see if we have any folks that were on the MC Beautiful committee that might want to do that as well. Or, just transfer over to do something like this. No one was in that? Okay, all right. So I'll come up, do I need to come up with an application, or we can just use the generic one?
use that one and then fill in the blank.
Okay, and then I'll put some verbiage together for you and for the website, and we'll get it going. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? All right. All in favor? Aye.
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 Show that unanimous. All right. The next one, moving on to 6.4, discuss Texas Department of Transportation or TxDOT traffic signal warrant study request for Highway 205 and via Tuscana intersection, requested by Mr. Hodges. I will turn it over to you, Mr. Hodges. What questions did we have?
No, really. I mean, I visited with Lisa about this a while back, as far as the the entrance and the exiting of Sonoma Verde and the traffic flow, and feeling like you're having to take your life in your hand every time you pull into 205 and off of 205. So I wanted to just kind of visit with the council about, is this something that we at this point feel like it's important that we want to follow up with TxDOT on with the study? And I've already been in a little bit of communication with Lisa, and she's been in communication with TxDOT to a certain degree already. But we haven't really made any major steps, I guess, at this point, right, Lisa? Before, I didn't want to work unilaterally without discussion with you guys and seeing where the council sits in that, and possibly getting a light put at that intersection. I think for safety's sake, I think it would be a good thing, and that's primarily what brought my attention.
Well, here's the thing on that. When it comes to a traffic light, I've seen this in a couple of different cities. TxDOT, for one, has to conduct that traffic signal study. TxDOT's its own, and I don't mean this to sound wrong, it's its own animal.
Sure.
They have formula systems that they follow to do all this stuff, and even though you and I and others that drive that road may feel it warrants it, based on whatever formulas and
Right.
stuff that they use, they may say no, it does not, based on their expertise in that area. I've seen areas that I've thought they had lost their minds, that it needed it. And, it took 5-6 more years before they said under their, what they used to figure it out before it warranted it. So just know that they may look at it based on how they're building the 4 lanes expandable to 6. They may say, it doesn't warrant it right now.
Not until that's done.
Right. So just know that sometimes they'll give you an answer that you look at them going, you've lost your minds, that's not right. But
Right.
based on how they figure it out, they've been pretty spot on.
Okay.
Do you have anything else on it?
We have talked about turn lanes.
Right.
That's also kind of up in the air. Several places. There are a few others that are questionable, and we're still going to look into those. So that progresses.
They're not closed off, but they have a certain way that they do it.
Sure.
And just know that.
Right.
Okay, if there's not any other discussion on that, we will.
So,
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry, just as a point of order, or I guess just a question earlier. Since the right turn lanes aren't on the agenda, the light is, we can't really
We can't talk
discuss it.
about them.
Okay, all right.
And we've had a meeting with Mr. Poster? That may have been here about those, but that'll have to be another whole agenda item. But he's still working on that for us. We'll just leave it at that. All right, if there's no other discussion on 6.4, we'll move to 6.5, discussion regarding league road repairs. Mr. Hodges?
Thanks, Mayor. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of follow up with the council and Lisa that, that the asphalt, there's been some cracking evident, and it being put down so recently, it was a little concerning that what's it going to look like in another year or so. So, I think Lisa's already.
We need to go out there and take pictures. It does have a warranty on it, so they will be going out. Has to do that. They believe that as long as they said that extensive subgrade was not. Not totally unexpected that these would crack.
Now, let me ask you a question on that, because it's just for me. But if they're repairing it under warranty, because they're warranting the road, does that section of the road, does the warranty start back over at that point that they've had to retire it or repair it? Okay. Okay. Just figured it wouldn't hurt to ask.
Well, no, they do have to, there's an implied duty of doing work on performance. So, warranties, unless you
Correct.
specifically expressly waiting in writing.
Gotcha.
Are going to carry over. So, if 1 month later, we find out they've done a crappy job.
Yeah, and I'm not expecting them to restart the warranty for the whole road, but if they have to fix a spot, Absolutely.
My only comment / question is that, looking at this July 2nd and shrinkage and swelling being an issue because of extensive dry weather, I'm fairly certain we were in a pretty dry period at that time, and we haven't had a lot of rain since then, since the cracks appeared. So it seems a little suspect of saying it's shrinkage and swelling. So do we not have a standard road surface, like per ordinance?
We have standards of design for that.
This falls outside.
That wasn't in the deal.
It wasn't a concrete drive, like you would in a subdivision. It was included. I guess because this is before my time here, but because that road itself is not part of Sonoma Verde, it's just access to it. I don't think it was.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is there,
Concrete section of it that they didn't have to.
Right.
That was that back in.
What, Judy?
is there like a standard of how streets are supposed to be put in, or was that done that way? I mean, did somebody come out and look at it and make sure that they were doing it?
If they were building brand new street, they wouldn't. But this was just a repair. This all this was. This was just trying to maintain it better than what it was.
But I mean, in the beginning, like.
That would have been before
Oh, you're
all
talking
of our
about
times.
Olive Lee Road.
Yeah, that would have been well before our time.
Yeah, because league was like
Okay.
chip seal, which is that white rock and
Okay.
stuff, and then it was rock.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on this one? If not, we will move on to 6.6. Discussion and consideration of appointing a full-time city secretary and directing the city administrator to advertise the open position. What we're looking at is starting whenever we can get the ad in the paper after January 1st, placing the ad for the city secretary position. So what I'm looking for is a motion for us to do that.
I'll make a motion to, that we appoint,
Ask Lisa to
ask Lisa to
advertise.
advertise for a full-time city secretary
All right.
for that
Do I
open position.
have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion on it? I think we're all in agreement that we need to move into that.
Mayor,
realm.
I would just like to get a confirmation on the timeline when we're going to put the ad in and how long it will be open for.
Lisa? Now, what, Lisa, based on your experience, what is a reasonable amount of time that we advertise? 30 days, 45 days, what?
Okay.
So we'd run, and I'm just going to use rough numbers, so roughly January 1 to February 1, or give or take when the days fall, you know? I'd like to start it whatever the first day is in January. I know obviously January 1 might be a
Get through
Saturday
the
or a Sunday.
holidays. Get through the holidays, I
Yeah,
think. would
start
be
at the
better.
first of the year,
Yeah.
and then for 30 days. Is everybody okay with that, 30 days, or do you think you need longer?
I think that's
Well, I
good.
think Lisa can answer that once she finds out how many people have done that in 30 days.
All right, we've got a motion, we've got a second. If there's no other discussion, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, before we get into 6.7, we're going to go to 7.1, recess into executive session in accordance with Texas Government Code, Section 551.074 brackets 1, personal matters to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, consideration of appointing interim city secretary. It is now 7:01. We're going to recess into executive session. Jim would have to go through 3 times.
I would have to hold around.
He'd be on the revolving door.
Yeah. No, I'm saying he's gonna have to go around. That's the bit.
All right.
You have some small ones, I'm gonna do some larger ones, please.
All right. Well, we lost 2. All right.
Those are the same ones you have, I just wanted.
Oh, that's fine. Got more things in my hand. Oh, I'm still missing one. God, it seems like it's extremely late because of the way that it gets dark early. Like, it feels like it's like 11:30,
It does?
doesn't it?
I feel fine.
Yeah, there's a 17-minute.
How much coffee have we drank?
Oh, that's true. I had a coffee.
Ah, see?
17 space
I haven't
and
had
20
one
space,
since 9 o'clock this morning.
That could be it.
All right. It is, Lisa, you ready?
I believe it is.
Okay. It's 7:40, we're back from executive session. We will,
You okay?
from 7:1 on executive session, no, because we got to go back and talk about 6.7. So no action at this point?
That's
Yeah.
up to council, but you don't,
Okay.
unless you want to.
No, that's fine. We're going to 6.7, right? Yeah. Discussion and action. Yep, 6.7, discussion and action regarding appointing Rochelle Green as interim city secretary. I'll entertain a motion on that.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Ms. Green as our interim city secretary.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion on it? All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Show that unanimous.
No, opposed.
Oh, I'm sorry, and 1 opposed. Sorry, 4 and 1. All right, now we will move on to 6.8, discussion and action regarding consideration of entering into a development agreement with Mohammed Palani, representing MFS Group LLC, to include a cost share agreement for a wastewater line. Ms. Lisa, I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Kalani and his company would like, if they come request from the city to accommodate their business venture, install a wastewater line so that they can build as a commercial thing development on the corner of South Corner, 205 and 205. This is going to be on our side of 205 across from this line. They've got a 1.5 acre lot, they purchased that lot, and they are looking to possibly put to a fund or two building development, total square footage, 12,500, 13,500 square feet total. Proposed uses, one would be a dining restaurant with possibly drive-through, the other would be primarily service station establishments. And all of that will be determined those uses would actually have to go through the planning development process and have to be and council. But in the meantime, we'd like to have minutes from us, through a development agreement for city infrastructure, so primarily the sewer line, they have put in water and stuff, we're looking for a minute funds for us to install the sewer line. So we've talked kind of where it is on the table right now, there's a draft development agreement in your packet. Cost estimates right now, it varies a little bit from 175 to 250 for the line, just because there's still some preliminary engineering that needs to be decided on. We're proposing this time, developer share would be $50,000. The city would cover the remaining costs up to our share, I think it's $200,000. So you have to be committed to this. You want that intersection to develop. Part of this agreement does call for, it would also
All right.
I'm happy to answer questions on Mr. Lonnie and his architect.
Okay.
To answer any questions you have. Even provide and it's just here for trying to give you a general idea of what the lot looks like, what the buildings may look like. There's one building option, two building option. It's just to kind of give you a feel for what that project.
Right. Kind of a rough sketch of what the idea is. Absolutely.
He's here to answer any of your questions. He's done other projects in the area. So if you want to ask him about past projects,
Sure.
and ask him about his plans for this.
All right, gentlemen, if you'll push the button on one of those till the red light comes, or Lisa can get it for you.
These batteries have quickly, so if one goes off, just turn it off and
Gentlemen,
Brother
welcome and
Kincaid.
thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Good evening. You want to speak? Yeah. Like Lisa just mentioned too, my name is Mohammed Palani, and we just purchased a 1.5 acre lot on 205 and 550, and we try to develop there at least 12,500 to 13,500 square foot retail with a one sitting restaurant.
Guys, do we have questions for him on this?
Could you share with us, sir, some of the other projects that you've?
We just finished one on Balch Spring last month, a couple of months ago, October 2019, and that 5,000 square foot building. There one Mexican restaurant, hair salon, insurance, and what else? Cell phone repairs, or cell phone.
Where is that?
Balch Spring. The address?
Yes, sir.
11629 Lake June Road.
Could you go over some others that you've done?
The other projects, we built one in 2010, Anna, Texas. Their address 2513 North Powell Parkway in Anna. The other project we had just 2019, we finished in March in Grand Prairie, Texas. The address there 210 Southwest 2nd Street.
And how, what do you have in the Grand Prairie buildings?
Okay, we do have a cell phone, insurance office, hair salon, and packaging shipping company. They ship overseas.
What kind of businesses were in Anna?
And
building up
their convenience stores, fitness club, and nail salon, and donut place.
Okay.
You might be interested to know this particular property is has an unusual deed restrictions on it, so there are certain things you can't.
Go in this location?
So, grocery store,
We cannot build here grocery stores, pharmacy, some type of, whatever the Brookshire adjacent to us, and whatever the Brookshire carries or they provide the services,
Right.
we cannot have in
Gotcha.
our shopping center.
probably most of these would be more service oriented.
So how long does it usually take from building to completion to get 100% occupancy?
The 100% occupancy, I cannot say how long it takes
Right.
because it depends on supply and demand on the town or, city. Obviously, this town need everything.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we're looking at probably, within 6 months, 180 days, we can fill that space, or at least 80%, I'd say,
6 months.
6 months.
Now, hold on, let me ask you a question. And I'm just going to ask this because of what I see from me as a citizen needs, with some of your other projects and all that, have you ever put a dry cleaners in any of your buildings?
We are in dry cleaning business.
Okay.
So I sent you the list today in email.
Right.
We are in dry cleaning business. We do insurance businesses, and we are in convenience store business. So this particular space, we can do our insurance office and dry cleaning. Yes.
That, and it's just me personally, but, I like to wear starched jeans and a nice pressed shirt, and with the amount of people we have that live in this city, that go into Rockwall, Dallas, and some of the other big cities for work, I see that as, a business in our city that could probably do well.
Yeah.
Because it's close to the house.
But the one thing here, the Brookshire restrictions, they put the restriction for the dry cleaning plant, so we cannot put the plant.
Gotcha.
But the drop stores can be, yes.
Right, okay.
So how do you go about soliciting for the type of restaurant that you want? How does that go about?
Well, we hire a brokerage firm to lease out the space. And of course, they market, different types of businesses. And based on what the town needs, they go out and market, those businesses. And given the traffic on 205, and surrounding towns are growing, I think there's a very good possibility as the building is getting erected and we have the brokers sign out there to lease out the space. We're confident that we will get some calls for restaurants and dine-in or drive-through restaurants.
Do you go with like franchises like McDonald's, Taco Bell, or do you go with more mom and pop places? How do you do that?
It like you said, it depends on the demand and the way we are designing the building. It's more likely neighborhood type of businesses will probably attract. We will attract those businesses, and again, it's hard to say. It's 6 months or a year down the road, but our goal is to bring some neighborhood services businesses in the town.
May I ask a question? So your intent would be to build the shells of the building and to finish them out to suit the tenants, is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you don't determine at this point, or not this point, but you don't determine ahead of time if you need a drive-through or not until you have solicited or received the...
No, we will go ahead and add the drive-through right now while we are doing it. So if the restaurants come and most 90% of restaurants need drive-through, and they do have a drive-through right there when they come. It'll be a lot easier while we're building a building. A drive-through will be easier to be built.
So, looking at these two plans, you have A1 and B1. B1 has the detached restaurant facility. You could be doing a drive-through with both of them?
Both of them, yes.
Okay.
Only between difference between Plan A and B, just those two separate buildings.
Yeah.
So the one building, it'll be like a what? 1,300 square foot.
13,000.
13,000 square foot and
13 plus
13,500. The other one is close to the same, but only the options different between building A and building 2. So if restaurant, they prefer to have a separate building themselves.
Yeah, there's just a space between.
Yeah, space between it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Polani, a couple of questions for you. So the ones that you built in the past, do you still own those, or have you sold those?
No, we have not sold none of them. So we still
So we still own all those three
All three.
properties.
I mean, to me, that's important because, if we're going to enter if this city is going to enter into a partnership, I want to make, from my perspective, I really want to be able to work with you guys
And not
5
just-
years down the road.
Not just to make
Definitely.
it-
definitely.
And you want to bring that up, the piece of land that we're discussing?
Yes, we just not purchased, we had a contract next to the Sonic and Shell. That's 1 acre lot right there 2 years ago. with Rob Whittle's owner, the landowners. We had a contract with them, but that land had a little issue with the FEMA, with the flood zone. Floodplain, so that's the reason we have not come up with any.
Yeah, we haven't started any sort of development on that lot.
Correct.
And in the meantime, we found this opportunity on 205 and 550, and we went ahead and closed the deal on that lot.
Has this gone through planning and zoning at all?
Yes, sir, this is just the beginning.
Okay.
And this would actually, if for some reason zoning wasn't achieved, the current zoning is a little bit odd. It does not allow for a restaurant. They actually have to get a special use permit. So considering the unique characteristics of the lot and the fact that it's deed restricted, we think their best option would be to do a plan development so we can go through zoning.
Right.
Rather than leaving that general business zoning in place. They could do that, but I think it would be easier to achieve what they want and to accommodate that unique lot right there on the corner. I think going to plan development route would be the best way. So there's no guarantee that that would be approved, but it would need to go through P&Z and come back to you as council. And if for some reason it didn't, and the zoning wasn't achieved, the money changes hands, no deposits made, nothing happens.
Gotcha.
So, but we have got to start in place.
Okay.
So this is the starting place.
Thank you.
Jim, could I ask you a question? How does this fit into the economic development plan?
Well, that's still not defined. I mean, obviously, bringing in economic development is very appealing. The service businesses, I don't know the kind of revenue those generate, but, it's, I wouldn't say there is a plan out there now, but bringing in as many high revenue sources as possible. We appreciate your interest. That's exciting and a good, great first step, but.
It's just one of our few corners. And
Well, it's probably our most valuable future, one out of 4, right? Out of 3 now, so it's exciting. But I still have questions. Personally, I would like to see a little more, do some, check out some of your other buildings and tenants and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's interesting.
I'd like to ask just one question. It's a technical question. In the actual agreement, under section 4.4, it says if the probable cost exceeds $250,000, this agreement is terminated. At what point do we know the probable cost?
I think that in there is a discussion for us so that we have to come back to the council if it was
Okay.
expected.
Okay.
So for once their engineer would do some, they're taking the risk up front because they're going to have to do some engineering work that may or may not pan out the way we think it's going to. But their engineer would come up with an estimate of probable cost. So once he does some early feasibility studies, there's about 4 different ways to get the sewer from point A to B. The engineer would have to determine the best routes and the most cost-effective means of getting it there. So we won't really know for a little bit. They're kind of taking the risk up front. If it doesn't work out, we're not going to pay them that early engineering.
The studies.
They're taking the
Right.
risk there.
And
I put 250 max in because I don't think it will go higher than that. And that's kind of, when we talk to the engineer, we kind of think that's on the high end of it. And I wanted the opportunity that if it was going to be higher than that to bring it back to you for further discussion. That number can change, and the numbers are to you, really.
And you think our sewer line is enough capacity to handle that and additional businesses that tap into it along the way?
Yes, that system was designed, in fact, to accommodate business districts all along 205.
Mr. Polani, I've got a couple more questions for you, sir.
Sure.
I'm assuming that your plat takes into consideration the future expansion of 205, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Just as far as the aesthetics of the building itself, we have 2 separate buildings and then one building. What are you guys leaning towards, one design or the other, or do you have a preference?
Can we get the tech?
that all depends of the restaurant, whoever's going to come in, whether they're going to want a freestanding building or they could live with an inline location. And that's just something that just needs to be
That's going to be dependent
determined.
on who's interested in the restaurant.
Correct. And needless to say, that building might increase or decrease, depending on the use. Yes.
What would you envision, say it's two separate buildings, what would you envision that area in between? Would that be like just a walkway? Or
Yeah, just a walkway with a garden and, nice walls, because we kind of envision that hopefully the person on lot 2, they have a pedestrian walk, to the next lot. Yes.
Would there be room for maybe some outside patio tables or?
It could be, yes. Because, we do have an odd corner, to the right side of the restaurant. And, that restaurant could actually move over a little bit over to the right and give us more room inside in between the two buildings. So, that's a good possibility right there, right? But, restaurants, I know they don't like quirky sided buildings. So, that's just has to massage, as it develops.
Is there anything preventing other restaurants from being used in one of these spaces?
What we want to do is limit the dine-in restaurants, okay? Because then my parking count starts shooting up, okay? Needless to say, in the 11,000 square foot, we could probably have a Subway or a Domino's delivery carry-out unit. A concept that doesn't require dine-in, so, and it doesn't increase the parking counts. So this whole plan is based on square footage versus parking counts, okay? Now, if we add another restaurant here, I don't think it would work, right?
Unless the city wants you to do it. Right?
Unless the city says it. Yes.
Do you take suggestions on what restaurant we kind of have an idea of like something that we would like to go in there? Can we throw that at you? Or?
Yeah, oh, sure. I also do a lot of Burger Kings and Wendy's and a lot of QSR restaurants. And really, they would want more land area versus what we've got here. So that's kind of targeting, like you said, maybe some local restaurateur, some local flair. But you never know. Wendy's might come in and say, that's enough space for me.
Or if it's in town, need an Italian restaurant or green,
Right. Yeah, we could accommodate that. And if they need to increase the size, they say, hey, can you make it 3,500? Sure, we just slide that over.
Trudy, I can tell you it never hurts to ask, but I've learned over the last few years, depending on the restaurant types, they have certain demographics, and we may not be big enough for the demographics of
Right.
the city to warrant some types of restaurants.
Right.
I know.
That's the only other side of it. It never hurts to ask, but
Right. Yeah, I'm sure Sonic ran demographics around here, and they decide. So I think there's going to be enough for everybody here in the future.
Eventually.
Yes.
oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If they came in, they're a big player. There's some growth that's going to be coming up.
Guys, you have any other questions for him?
No, sir.
Thank you.
The other terms, I know we were kind of shooting this agreement back and forth for several days. Were the other terms of the agreement acceptable to you as written? Is there anything that you would want to change?
We just participate for the $50,000 for going and developing this particular lot, 1.5 acre. And you just mentioned that $45,000 reimbursement with the first 25 when we pull the permit for the building, and the remaining balance on when one of our tenants obtained the first CO on that. So we could.
So all terms are acceptable to you?
Mike, has Michael had a chance to look this over? Yeah. You're good?
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Give us just a few minutes.
Yes, I know this is the first time you see the plan, so I know there's going to be a lot of questions developing, but, we're here to answer anything if anything comes up.
It would be great if we could get those addresses from
Okay.
from the other places, because I
Sure.
would like to go out and take a look.
Sure.
Yeah. Could just provide those to Lisa, that'd be very helpful. Did that have addresses though?
I just passed the addresses to you. Okay, then
Yeah.
I can repeat that to you.
Yeah,
So the,
or email them, email them.
I can email it to you.
Yeah, and we can distribute.
Thank you.
Right. Okay?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
I think we're going to do to executive session, accordance with Texas Code 35.071, consultation with city attorney on matter in which the duty of the attorney of the governing body of the Texas rules of special conduct of the state law of Texas clear conflicts with chapter regarding consideration and development agreement with Mohammed Kalani representing MFS Group LLC to include a cost share agreement for wastewater. It is 8:06. Back there, please.
Okay. You want,
No, this is fine.
you got both sides?
Yes.
Both sides?
Did you do? Right. Let's go.
Explain how that works. I guess we should have explained how that works.
I'm sorry. I didn't, figured they'd been to one before. All right. Well, then, this will be easy. Okay. All right, it is now, you ready, Lisa? Now 8:20, we're back from executive session, back to 6.8. I'll entertain a motion to delay a decision on this until January 14th.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we delay a final decision on the development agreement with MFS, is that correct? Until the next regularly scheduled council meeting, unless there is a time requirement on their side that might require a special meeting.
I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, I've got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Show that unanimous. All right, we are done with all that. All right, now, does anybody need any information or anything on the building reports? 10.1? If not, moving on, sheriff's report, 10.2. If not, we'll move on to 10.3, the budget. Anybody have questions?
I just want to make a clarification on item 313.2, the Veterans Memorial Funding Campaign. But we took out the $34.79 to pay, but we also had put money into that. So I didn't want the public to think that we took the $34.79 out of our operating budget. So I was just clarifying that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, updates, discussion, and direction of staff. I think we're good there. My reports, I really don't have a whole lot. We are in the holiday season. So I will say when it comes to the holiday season, be wary of people out and about because there's people getting out. There's Christmas lights on everywhere. Make sure you're locking your vehicles and you're aware of what's going on. We still have the people all over the Metroplex doing the dash and grab your packages off your porches, looking at houses to see who's a prime target to burglarize, especially if you got large boxes at your front door or you go to throw your trash at and you've got large boxes from purchases over Black Friday. It gives them an indication they might want to go see what you got in your house. You got to be careful with things like that. You know, we got Christmas coming up. This is our last scheduled meeting for the year. You know, I want everybody to have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And that's it. I really don't have any other announcements I can think of. Lisa, am I missing anything we've done recently? Christmas tree lighting was huge. Do what? Yes. I heard nothing but wonderful things about the Christmas tree lighting. That's part of what I forgot. Trudy, hats off to you. You did an awesome job. Saw a lot of kids having fun. Saw a lot of adults having fun. This room was full of a lot of people being neighbors and enjoying themselves. I saw a lot of good conversations going on amongst neighbors. People commented on several events we've had over the summer through the fall into the holidays of it feels like home again. So you did a bang-up job. I'll expect more next year. You know, we can do nothing but go up now. We've set the standard. All we can do is improve on it.
A lot of it was just chipping in. I mean, that was it, literally.
But you know what? They welcome it now because they realize it's sincere and that we really want the community to be a community again.
We even had people dropping off whatever else, and they couldn't even be here. They were stopping in, dropping off, donations stuff, and then going going on to the whatever it is that they had to get done.
Right.
And they weren't even able to be here. So, I mean, that was just amazing to me.
Absolutely. And really, the only last announcement I have is if y'all didn't know, Trudy's about to have a birthday. Just figured I'd throw that out there. Actually, I just thought she was 21 with a couple extra years' experience. I am. I'm safe over here. All right, that's all I got. Miss Lorna?
Yes, we're starting the Lunch and Learns. They're going to be the first Tuesday of the month, and the first one is January 7th. And Mindy and Gary Lovell are going to give us a history of McLendon-Chisholm, and it's here on the 7th at 12 o'clock. And people can bring a lunch if they wish. And we're just going to cover public interest items. We'll see how it goes if people are interested, and but we're going to start the first one on January 7th. So tell your friends about it, and I'll put it on our page as well.
Okay.
I have a request.
Yes.
Can we do dinner versions too for people that
Yeah,
can't make it
just-
during the day?
Some of us aren't going to be here at lunch.
Yeah.
Well,
In the
we'll
future,
see how
in the
that
future,
goes. We'll
in the
try to
future.
divide it 6 and 6.
Because I would love to make that, but there's no way I can make that.
Yeah, you and I both.
Not gonna.
And it's not going to be a political thing. It's just going to
No,
be
no, no. Yeah.
informative in nature.
It's not that, but it may be hard with most of our city being commuters to other cities.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I had a good turnout when I first brought it up. I mean, I'm expecting between 10 and 20. I'm not expecting 100 people. We'll see.
Nathan, you're up.
Thankful for this community. Man, we've seen a lot of changes the last 5 years, the last 25 years. Happy to still be a part of it. Excited to be a part of it. Reiterating a lot of what you said, just remember what's important this time of year. Christmas and the holidays and New Year's, and spending time with family and friends, and appreciating that. So,
Absolutely.
I want to thank Trudy and all the other volunteers for MC50 and the tree lighting. I want to thank the fire department for being a part of that as well. I think, having everybody on the same page now, I think it's just an exciting time for
Absolutely.
us as a town, as a community.
All right. Trudy, you're next.
We had our tree lighting and Santa December 1st. We're going to start doing that every year.
We're going to keep that day.
We're going to keep the date, December 1st. That way nobody's going, oh gosh, I missed it last weekend, or oh no, it's coming up this weekend, I can't be there. So just December 1st, keeping it that, whether it be a Tuesday or Saturday or Friday.
Well, make sure we book Rodney every year.
I already got him.
He is an awesome guy.
I already
for
got
Santa.
him. He's already done. He's a done deal.
And he is a veteran.
He is. He's a wonderful person. I mean, he was awesome with every person, every child. It was amazing to see. I was very happy, very, very pleased. And I thought it went really well, especially just like right off the cuff. I'm literally trying to tell him what he's got to do on flipping the switch at 3 and, all that stuff like that. And yeah, it worked out really well. So I thought it went good. I think it was a blur to me, but after looking back on some of the photos and the videos and stuff like that I've had a chance to look at, I think it went okay.
Next year, don't send cookies back to my house, though.
Oh, we had so many cookies.
I know.
So many
There's still a
cookies.
box of cookies in my house.
It's crazy. And I only asked a few people. It's just, they just kept coming. It was like, holy moly. But I'm so thankful for it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Let's see, what else was I going to say? As far as the money goes, we actually spent $40 out of our budget until I find out how much the lights were. I don't know. But other than that, everything was, either loaned to us or we borrowed or something. So all of it was paid for through donations or actually only $40 is what I kind of see out of our budget. Until I see how much the light's worth, then we'll know more. But other than that, that's about it. I'd like to put some of the pictures and stuff maybe on the websites or something. I got quite a few of them, so I kind of got to go through some of them. I don't know if we can put any videos or anything on there or not, but I can try and get you something that's decent. Other than that, I think that's it.
Very cool. Jim?
Mayor, can I get a quick do-over? I wanted to tell people that the CWD trash for Christmas week is going to be on Friday.
Oh, yeah, and I wanted to say thank you to all my volunteers. And Lisa, I appreciate you being here and helping out and cleaning up. And Shelley, I'm not sure if you were involved in all that, but I'm sure you were to have to move the tree and all the presents and everything else like that. So I appreciate everybody chipping in and helping and moving TVs and podiums and setting up chairs and tables. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that did help me. So.
Absolutely. Jim, you're up.
I'll just echo, I'd already congratulated and shown appreciation to Trudy, but I'll echo that again. Thank you. You did a great job, and everyone else who was involved with that, as well as the fire department. Or decorating.
Yeah.
Putting those lights up. It's always appreciated. No other announcements.
All right. William?
No, I really have no announcements other than what kind of already been said. The last several events that we've had in the city have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Trudy. Kids had a blast with Santa, as well as the Veterans Memorial went really, really well. I got a great uncle who's buried on the West Coast, and up until that memorial got put in, I really didn't have a place to visit, so I could actually, think of him and everything. So I really, really, really appreciate that memorial. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, when my dad saw my dad's not doing well at all, so I'm not sure how long. But when he saw, the brick and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So thank you. Thank you for that.
Well, it is now 8:32, seeing that we have finished everything on the agenda. This meeting is officially adjourned.
See you in 2020.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's where it is. That's like, I saw the empty package, I'm like, what did you put up?
They put the military rank on the East.
Yeah, I know.